Welcome to the City Council Workshop for Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Right now we have a time for public input. Citizens may address the council regarding any item of city business that is not on tonight's agenda. The duration for an individual speaking under public input is limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody? Come on up to the mic and say your name and address, please.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I apologize. Oh, my name is Gaurav Thakur, and I live in 603 Hazel Avenue in Laurel. I apologize. I was supposed to be here for the last meeting, and I misinterpreted the date. I was here the next day. Well, I would like to thank the council for appointing me as in the advisory capacity for the Laurel Urban Renewal District Board. And I know that everybody had wanted to know how to pronounce my name correctly. So it's Gaurav Thakur, or you can also call me GT. If anybody has any questions for me, I have my resume, so kind of reflects on my experience in my current role as an economic development director at the Beartooth RC&D. But if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Anybody have Councilmember Wheeler?
I just wanted to thank you guys. You said Beartooth RC&D wanted to be more involved, and now they're on a board, so.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Councilmember McKay?
Thank you. I want to echo what Casey said. You've been at our small business meetings and just been very involved, and I really appreciate that. And so I'm glad to see you on Laura too.
Yeah. Me being the newest member of the team, I would like to be more involved in our community as well. That kind of helps me in my role to understand the needs in our region. So it's mutual.
Anybody else? And you were voted in last week, so.
Yes.
You're already on.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry if I messed up your name. GT? Anybody else? Okay, moving on, we have the appointment of Dean Rankin to the Laurel Urban Renewal Agency for the remainder of a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2027. He has requested to replace Marty Spollinger, who passed away. She served, did you ever figure out how long? A lot of years, a lot of years. She will be missed. But Dean immediately stepped up and put his letter in to be put on, so. Under executive review, we have a resolution of the City Council to adopt an official schedule of fees and charges for the City of Laurel and repealing all previous resolutions that set fees or charges that conflict with the schedule attached hereto upon its effective date. Just so everybody knows, I forgot to mention the attorney is on the phone so she can hear or answer any questions. Council Member McKay.
Thank you. I glanced through it, but I didn't see red line through anything. What's different? What's the resolution about?
So every time we do a schedule of fees, it's a 2-part process. Last week we did the intent. So you saw the red lines and set the public hearing. This is the second part. So you will have a public hearing on the schedule of fees next week.
Councilmember Banks.
Thank you. She asked the same question I was going to ask.
I ask it too. Anybody else? Okay, we move on to Public Works. A resolution of the City Council authorizing the adoption of the 2024 Eastern Montana Region Hazard Mitigation Plan and Annex K for Yellowstone County. What?
That's not, but I guess it's.
Oh, that's Matt. I don't see him. You go ahead then.
So I want to apologize. I'm fighting a cold right now. So if I crack up here, I apologize for that. So this Eastern Montana Region Hazardous Mitigation Plan is a plan that the county has. It's like 76, that Annex K is 76 pages. The other part of it's like 400 and whatever, you have it in your packet. So the city of Laurel has to adopt this mitigation plan in order to move forward with our grant funding that we're trying to get through FEMA for the water tank. And so Kurt did review, I would say 95% of this whole entire plan, didn't see anything, also contacted the county, asked them if they felt that the county commissioners weren't going to accept it either, and he said, no, go ahead, move forward. Everything looks like it's gonna go. So we do have to have this adopted through the city of Laurel in order to move forward with any FEMA funding.
Councilmember Mize?
Thank you. Have we adopted a plan like this in the past, or is this brand new for us?
I believe it's every 2 to 3 years. I'll find that out for you, but I think it's every 2 to 3 years that they do a new one.
Follow up. So then it seems pretty standard compared to the others as well.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else? Next, we have a resolution of the city council authorizing the mayor to execute an independent contract service contract with Fisher's Technology. Clerk Treasurer will answer or talk about this.
So I've been approached for the last few years regarding our copy machines that we have in the Public Works Department and also in the finance office. They are dinosaurs. They were purchased back in 2011. They have over 1 million copies on them. And so this year, the Public Works Department we've been fighting with that one, a lot of problems happening with it, wanting to break down, and the parts are getting harder and harder to find. Right now, we have they are Kyocera Task Alphas. They proposed the same machines to us along with a new Canon machine. I actually met with them, went back and forth with them. Back in 2011, we actually purchased the copy machines. They are offering us a lease program, which means the leases would be for 5 years. Every 5 years, we would then enter into a new lease if we wanted new copy machines, instead of purchasing them outright. To purchase the Canon one outright is $30,000, and to purchase the other one is $39,000, and that is state funding or state pricing. So we would, since we're a government agency, we would get that. So the mayor, the CAO, me, Brittany, everybody that uses the machines looked over everything. And right now for the 2 machines that we pay because we purchase them, but we also have to pay for the overages that we have in the copies. We're paying, excuse me, for black and white copies right now, we're paying about 3 cents a copy if we go over 2,500 for black and white a month, and for colored 18 cents. With the new machines, our lease would be, so together with the 2 machines, we roughly average $1,293 a month is what we're paying for them. If we lease these machines from Fisher, our black and white copies go to less than 1 cent a copy, and our color copies are 5 cents a copy versus 18. And we can lease the 2 machines together for $918.67.
The savings of.
About $300 a month. So,
Less.
and we have brand new machines. This includes the parts, the labor, all the consumables, so all of the toner that we use. And it doesn't include any of the staples. If we do staple anything or any of the paper, the city still purchases those. And then this would include delivery, installation, and unlimited training. We have talked about, we actually asked Fisher with the amount of copies that we do, which copy machine, do we stay with the Kyocera or do we go to a Canon machine? And they recommended that we move to a Canon machine. So obviously we'll all have to be trained on that, but the machines do exactly the same exact thing that we already have. They run like 40 copies a minute. I mean, they're great machines. And so, we have the fuser out on the one upstairs, and so they can't get the parts to replace that anymore. And then we would take these 2 copy machines and sell them as surplus.
Questions? Councilmember Mize?
I just got a little confused when we were talking about like stapling and stuff. They're still coming into our building, right?
Oh,
The
yes.
machines are, okay.
Like, no, like
Perfect.
the machines staple,
Okay.
they fold, they 3-hole punch, they do all of that. We just have to pay, if we run out of staples, like that's an additional kind of like paper. So, yeah, no, the machines will sit in our offices.
Councilmember Canopy?
Thank you. Is there a service contract monthly or yearly, quarterly that they come in service?
Yes.
And that's all included with the
Yes.
purchase of those?
Yep. They can monitor how many copies we do, and if our machines are out of ink, like they will automatically send those. If they're out of waste, if our waste toner boxes are full, they automatically send that. That's all, nothing, there's no charge to that. That's all within our maintenance agreement.
Councilmember McKay?
Thank you. Is this a company that you've dealt with before and you feel confident that they'll fulfill their end of the bargain?
This
and
is
they're
the
pretty
company
good
that we
about-
currently use.
And they're pretty good about coming out when you need them to and all that?
Yeah, I mean, like, we can call in the morning and they, a lot of times will be there if we're down and out within 30 minutes.
Nice.
They're out of Billings.
Okay.
They used to be called Tyrell's, and Tyrell's was purchased by Fisher. So,
Anybody else? We have the budget coming up, so we're gonna cut a lot of trees down, which means that will save us a lot of money going from a nickel a copy overage, because we will do overages, to less than a penny alone on just the copies, so. Okay. Council issues. We have the tabled minutes, and I was instructed to say that the council needs to publicly tell the changes they would need for the 2 sets of minutes that they wanted tabled. Do you have them? That they can be brought up publicly? And then she's ready to change them, right? But we were told that they had to be publicly said what the changes for the public. Council President Sparks?
Yeah, I can provide that. So the email that I had sent to Brittany concerning the minutes, the January 28th minutes on page 5 under the discussion for the CAO position, it states a motion was made by Irv to table the resolution. The minutes state the motion was not seconded and therefore the motion died, but that is not accurate. It was seconded. We can hear the mayor state that the motion was made and seconded. The council then voted in a 5-3 vote to table the resolution. So that's the update that needs to take place on the January 28th. Additionally, the minutes from February 11th are incorrect under the unscheduled matters. Councilmember McKay had made a motion to revise the minutes of the January 21st workshop to clarify that she was not asking about the judge's salary in regard to the CAO discussion that was taking place. Those minutes reflect, so that's the February 11th minutes reflect there was no unscheduled matters, even though that was discussed and brought up under there. It's also not under the council discussion area, so.
Is that what you need? Councilmember Mize?
I think it would also be prudent to include in the January 28th minutes that the council is told there has to be a supermajority, and that's why the tabling doesn't stand and we move forward.
You got all that? Anybody else? Okay. Other items? Attendance at next week's meeting. Everybody's gonna be here? Good. Any announcements? I have one. Oh, go ahead, Councilmember Canopy.
Thank you. There is a tree board and park board meeting this Thursday coming up, and I believe it is 5:30.
Thank you, Tom. In this chamber, thanks. Thanks, Tom.
Councilmember Closey, how many tickets do you have left for the SAFE, for the Legion benefit?
Total, we probably have 75 total left.
And why don't you tell us how much they are, and we'll publicly put your phone number out there. So they can contact you to buy tickets.
$2 a piece or 3 for $5. And my phone number is.
Oh, you don't have to give that. They can go on the website and get it. So, but get a hold of a Legionnaire. They will sell you some tickets. It's for a good cause. Anybody else?
What kind of safe is it?
It's a gun safe. Yeah, some of you might not need it. There you go. Nothing else? We are adjourned. Thanks for coming, GT.